Good morning or afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Walsh, and I'm the Director of Support for Training Documentation for BNI Connect. Today's webinar is on the online slips, also called the member module in BNI Connect. And today we're going to go over some of the basics of what the slips program is all about, how to enter your slips online in BNI Connect, what some of the benefits are of entering the slips online in BNI Connect, and how to track your referrals also through BNI Connect. So you can take the whole process from being able to give a referral or receive a referral all the way through to the time that that referral closes or not. This webinar is being recorded, so it will be made available in its entirety, both with the questions and answers and the content on our YouTube channel. You can find our YouTube channel at youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. And on that site, you'll see all of the recordings of the webinars that we've done over the past couple of years, including other versions of this particular webinar. You can also find that information on our support site by going to support.bniconnect.com. You'll see our list of upcoming webinars here, as well as if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will see the webinars posted by month. You can click on the month, and you can see all of the webinars that were successfully recorded and updated for that month. So let's take a look at the online slips. Now I'm going to log into our testing system because I am an active member here in the Rhode Island region of BNI in the northeast of the United States. So I don't want to mess up my actual statistics, so I'm going to log into our testing system here. It is the exact same as our live system. Now once you log in, the screen that you'll see is this screen here. And what this is called is the My BNI Business screen. Now there's a couple of components to this screen that are important to take into account. This top portion of the screen, the My BNI Business report, what this is the PALMS report just for you. And it's a summary of the PALMS report for the last 12 months as well as your lifetime in BNI. Now the important thing to keep in mind is that this is the official numbers of BNI for you and your membership. These numbers will only be updated usually on a weekly basis as your vice president finalizes and submits the PALMS reports. And this will include not just the online slips, but it will also include any paper slips that were passed previously over the course of your membership. So again, regardless of whether you're using the online slips or not, these numbers will change on a weekly basis as your vice president, or in some countries it's called the membership coordinator, verifies the data and submits the official report. Now, down at the bottom, we have the ability to enter the slips online. Now, please keep in mind that in no way, shape, or form are we trying to change the actual BNI meeting that you go to on a weekly basis. The part of the meeting where we go through, we've done our 60 seconds, we've done the 10-minute presentations, and then we do the reporting on the referrals and the thank you for closed business and the one-to-ones that we do, that stays the same. The only difference is if you submit the slips online, for most of those things, you don't have to drop an actual physical piece of paper into the bowl, but we absolutely still want to report on that weekly activity. Let's take a look at some of these slips. Now, the slips are entered by using one of these enter options here. So we can enter a thank you for closed business. We can enter referrals. We can enter one-to-ones, and we can enter CEUs. Let's take a look at the first slip here in the list. Enter thank you for closed business. So this is when I'd like to thank somebody in my chapter for a referral that they passed to me previously that resulted in a closed sale or money to my business. The way I do that is by clicking on the Enter Thank You for Closed Business slip. And what we see here is almost identical to those green slips that we pass in our meeting. All we need to do is select a member from our chapter. So there's a member in my chapter. His name is Greg Rosso. He's a carpet cleaner. And let's say that he had referred me to, it was an inside referral. He referred me to his own business, and it resulted in $125 in business to my business. It was an inside referral. It was new business, and I can even put some comments on here as to what that referral was for. So let's say it was to fix his computer. and that was the referral was for. Now, you can be as descriptive as you'd like in these comments because they will remain private to you. Nobody else in the system can see those comments that you enter onto this Thank You for Closed Business screen. Even myself, with godlike access, with admin access to the BNI Connect system, I cannot see these comments that you enter onto these screens. Now, you have a couple options at the bottom. After you're done filling out the information, you can do Save and New. And this is if you'd like to open up a new slip immediately, and you can very quickly go through all of your Thank You for Closed Business slips that you need to enter. Or you can click Submit. That will enter this information and return you to the previous screen. Or you can close this, which will just tear up this slip and discard the information and return you to the screen. Now, once you do submit a slip, it is permanent in the system, so you do need to make sure that you double check your information before clicking Submit. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and New because I wanted to show you one other feature on these slips. So this opened up a new slip for me. Now, in most regions, what you'll also see here is Search Cross Chapter. Now, there are other chapters and other members in your region that perhaps you received a referral from another member in your region that you would like to thank them for closed business. You can do that as well. Now, keep in mind, if this Search Cross Chapter button is not there, please talk with your executive director or your director consultant to find when it will be made available in your area. So right now it is an option in most areas. But assuming it is there, the way to do this would be to click on the Search Cross Chapter button. Now, again, let's say I have a contact in another part of my region here. His name's David Cordero. So I'm just going to type the first couple of letters of his first and last name here and do a search. This searched across my region, and it returned the result, David Cordero, and he's in the City Biz chapter. His company is Cyber Technical. So I would like to thank him for some closed business, and I'm going to click OK. It asks me, am I sure? And I'm going to click OK. Now we'll see that the thank you is going to go here to David Cordero. Now this was a referral. It was a good one. It returned into $1,000 for my business. It was new business. It was an outside referral. And I can say this was for Johnny Mack for his business. And again, it's okay to name names in the comments because these are private comments. And I'm going to go ahead and click Submit. Now we do have a question here from Elvin. He says, the amount is sales amount or profit for the business? My business is solar, so sales amounts can be huge. Now, this is open to some interpretation as to exactly how to report that. Before I even say anything on the topic, what I would like to say is please have a conversation with your director consultant of your chapter or your executive director so that however it's being done in your region remains consistent throughout your region. So that being said, there is a document available for this. If we just do a quick Google search for BNI Slips program online, the first result should be a PDF file that was recorded in SuccessNet, the monthly newsletter for BNI, a couple of months ago. And if you click on this, this will give you an explanation of all of the slips, and especially the Thank You for Closed Business slip. And they give you a very detailed explanation of how to record this. Generally speaking, it would be gross commission to your company. Again, that's generally speaking, but that document does have more detail. So hopefully that helps there, Elvin. Okay, so after entering the slips online, you'll notice that my Thank You for Closed Business received number up here did not change, and this will remain true for all of the slips that I enter. The numbers up top will not change immediately. After you've gone to your meeting and after your vice president has recorded all of the figures, submitted it officially, then these numbers at top will change. However, there is a report that shows you all of the slips entered, and this to me is one of the big benefits of using the online slips program. You'll notice there's a complimentary Thank You for Closed Business. It says My Thank You for Closed Business. And if I click on this report, by default, it's going to show me the last 6 months. When I click go, it will give me a report of all of the slips that I entered online over the past 6 months. So I can see that it did input the David Cordero slip for $1,000 as well as the Gregory Rosso slip for $125. It shows me the type of referral it was, whether it was new or repeat business, and it shows me my comments. And again, these comments are private just to you. Now, to me, this is a big benefit because normally when we pass a piece of paper at the meeting, especially one of these thank you for closed business slips, you know, I go to my meeting this week and I put one in for Greg Rosso. Now, 3, 4, 5 months later, or maybe Greg Rosso wasn't at that meeting, Greg comes up to me and says, hey, you know, that referral that I passed you a couple of months back, did you ever thank me for that? And thank you for closed business. And right now, you kind of have to rack your brain and say, well, not really sure. And sometimes you may submit a duplicate one, or if you're very good and you're keeping some third-party database, or if you have an Excel spreadsheet somewhere, you'd be able to look that up. Well, if you enter them online, you can always consult this thank you for closed business report. So if Greg asked me that question, a couple of months from now, I could look through this list and say, hey, yeah, absolutely. On the 3rd of April, I did report that. And again, that was for the fixing your computer in your business. So it's very easy to go back and look at all of the slips that you entered. All right, so the second type of slip that you may want to enter is the referral slip. So that is the Enter Referrals link. And again, this looks just like the referral slips that we pass in now. You notice it even has the temperature gauge over on the right-hand side so that we can rate this referral. And again, I can choose somebody from my chapter. So let's say that I have a referral for Charlie Westcott, and he's our social media guy in the chapter. And let's say that this referral was to Dunkin' Donuts. They need some help with their social media in the state. It's an outside referral. I gave them the card. I told them that Charlie would be giving them a call. I give them the address, 1 Their Street in Providence. And I give them the telephone number and the email address. And any comments that I would like to make about this particular referral. So again, I want to be descriptive in telling Charlie what this is all about. So, you know, please call John at the main office. He needs help with his Facebook social media campaign. Now I can rate this. Let's say that this is a 4. And again, I can choose Save and New, or I can choose Submit. And that would allow me to either enter a new referral right away, or if this is the only referral that I'd like to enter today. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and New. And again, with the cross-chapter referrals, you can actually pass a referral to another member within your region. And the way to do that is to click on Search Chapter. And let's say that I have a referral for Alex. Alex, he's in another chapter. I'm not really sure how to spell his last name. His name is Alex Agronic, but I'm not really sure how to spell it. So I just need to put in Alex up top and do a search. And let's see if I can find him here. And let's see, Alex from the Nauset chapter. I can choose him, click OK. And again, I just need to fill out the details of the referral. And this is for, let's say, John Smith. It's an outside referral. I gave him the card. I can type in the address, the phone number, the email address if I know it, and any comments. So John's pipes burst and needs some fixing. I'm going to say 3, and again I can choose Save and New or Submit. Now again, you will notice that my referral given number up at the top here has not changed yet because this still needs to be verified by our chapter's vice president at the weekly meeting. But my referrals report will show by default the last month, but you can change this date. Let's say I'd like to go back and look at 2 months worth of referrals, and I click go, and now we can see that the 2 referrals that I just entered, one to Charles Westcott and one to Alex Braga, are both in the list here. So those have been reported, and they will be verified. And again, this is a great tracking tool so that I can go back and look at all the referrals that I've given. And if you notice here that there's the column over on the right-hand side, and it says the tracking sheet status. Now, the tracking sheet status is great because when you receive a referral in BNI, you can track those referrals through the tracking sheet. Now, if your referral partner is tracking the status of the referrals, when that referral closes, you will be updated in this report as to what the status of that referral is. So do check back on the My Referrals report often to see how your referrals are doing with your referral partner. Now, the other great thing about passing a referral online is that the person receiving the referral will get a notification about that referral right away. So immediately when you click submit on that referral, they get an email letting them know about that. Now, here's an actual referral notification that I received a couple of weeks back. Actually, on the 12th of March, I received a Tier 2 outside referral from somebody in my chapter, Ken Neff. It was rated a 4. It gives me the referral name, the address, the phone number, and the email, and the comments. And it also gives me all of Ken's contact information. So if I need to follow up further, I can either just reply to this email. It will go back to Ken. Or if I'm reading this on my cell phone, for example, I can just click the phone number and it will launch the dialing application on my phone. Same thing if I need to call Ken back. I don't have to look up his contact information. I can just click the phone number right here in the referral notification and give Ken a call and find out more about it. This shortens the referral time. The communication about referrals is now instantaneous, and we can get started on closing those deals right away. Now, the next type of thing that you may want to enter is a one-to-one. So when you have a one-to-one meeting with another member of your chapter, you can record that one-to-one meeting. So let's say that I met with Seth Jacobson. He's the photographer in our chapter. You can click on who initiated that conversation if you'd like to track that, where you met. So it's a Dunkin' Donuts type of day. We met at Dunkin' Donuts. The topics of conversation. And the date that you met. And let's say that we met on April Fool's Day. Again, I can save a new or submit. And again, you can record a cross-chapter one-to-one as well, if that is available in your region. So I'm going to go ahead and click submit. And again, this will show up in the My One-to-Ones report. And by default, this is going to show us the last 6 months. And I guess there's a question here from Elvin. Sorry, I missed this a second ago. It says, I can search a member with the magnifying glass on the top menu, but when I try to enter a cross-chapter referral, the member doesn't show up with the search button. Wondering if there is a reason why. Elvin, a quick question for you. Is the member somebody that's in your region, or are they in a completely other part of the world or even a different state? Right now, the cross-chapter referrals are limited to the people that are just within your region. So, for example, my region is Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. So it may be limited by that. So it is within your region. Again, I would love to do a test of this with you offline. So after the webinar is over today, if you want to either hang out online and we can do an example together, or I can give you a call separately and let's see why that's not showing up for you. Would that work? Excellent. All right, going back to the or the one-to-one report, again, we can see the dates that we had the one-to-one, who we met with, who initiated the conversation, what the location was, and any topics of conversation. One thing to note is that only one person of the pair needs to enter that one-to-one. And it will go into both people's My One-to-One report, and both people will get the credit for it in their respective POMS reports. If the second person does try to enter the one-to-one, it will give you a warning saying, hey, somebody already entered this one-to-one for this date. Are you sure you want to enter another one? It will allow you to override it, and there are times maybe you had breakfast and dinner with somebody one day. But typically we'll want to cancel out at that point and only record the one-to-one. To me as a member, I think this is a great benefit because I'm sure this has never happened to you, but you may go to your chapter meeting and you're sitting there and you're listening to the 60 seconds and you look across the room and you see one of your referral partners, maybe even somebody that's in your contact sphere, and you say to yourself, I haven't been able to give Janet a referral in months and months and months, and we used to do a lot of business together. I'm wondering why that relationship has fizzled. You can look back at this one-to-one report and say, oh, well, you know what? I haven't done a one-to-one with Janet since October. Well, no wonder why we haven't been able to pass that much business. We haven't been meeting often enough. So this is a way to really strategize your one-to-ones, to look back and review your activity within your chapter. All right, the final type of slip that we usually pass at a meeting is the CEU slip. Now, the CEU slip, this is the typical gold slip that most of us have in our chapters. And again, this is the default of what is listed on the slip. So we get the credits for the different types of learning activities or the chapter education units that we receive in the chapter. Now, all you need to do is enter the quantity because it will do the total credit calculation for you. So let's say that SuccessNet just came out yesterday. I did read that, so I'm going to give myself 1 credit. I also attended a leadership team training session this week, and I have finished up 2 books that I've been reading for months with Dr. Ivan Meisner's books. So I can see that it gave me the 1 credit for each of these courses. And then it gave me 10 total credits for the 2 books that I finally finished. I'm going to go ahead and click Submit. And if I go ahead and click on the My CEU report, we should see that that slip has been entered. So if I scroll down to the bottom, so the slip that I entered for the 13th, I can see the credits that I got for each of them. And I can also see a grand total of all of the CEUs. Now, another great feature is that when you receive a referral electronically in BNI Connect, you can now track the status of those referrals that you've received. So there's 2 different things. We have the referral tracking report, and this will show you all of the referrals that you've received in BNI Connect. So I can see over the past 6 months that I've received 3 referrals through BNI Connect. The referral name from Bob Jones and the phone number and the referral email, so I can follow up on these. I can take a look at them. And then I can also track the status. So you can see the status here is closed. But if I can track more information using the referral tracking sheet. So if I click on the referral tracking sheet and do a quick search, now I'm going to go back. By default, it's going to give me 1 month. You can go back up to a 6-month period at a time. And let's say this referral to Bob Jones. Now if I click on Edit, we'll see that I can use this form to track all the touches that I had with Bob Jones. So I can change any of this information if I need to, if it was given incorrectly, or maybe he gave me his cell phone instead of his office phone and I'd like to update that information. But I can also track the status. So is it still a new referral? Is it pending? Did it close? Was it a no sale? I can put in when I contacted them. So I know that I received this referral on the 15th. I contacted him right away. We had scheduled a meeting and we met on the 25th. And then I followed up with him again on the 28th. I can write in whether or not this turned into additional spin-off business. And if I need to, I can re-rate that referral as well. Now the great thing is that the status When I change the status here, it will also be changed in my referral partners, my referrals report. So they can also see very quickly whether or not that was a good referral or not. And if I'd like to, let's say that you receive a paper referral, but you'd also like to be able to use this tool, you can add your own referrals that you receive into these referral tracking reports. Now, this is disconnected from the PALMS report. Putting data in here does not create any type of credit in the PALMS report or anything. But you can use this for other referrals if you'd like to. You just need to fill it out, and you can track the referrals that way. All right, going back to my home screen. People have often asked, well, that's all great. We're doing all this stuff online, very green, everything else, but what are we supposed to do at the meeting now? How am I supposed to be entered in for the door prize after the 10-minute presentation? Well, you can still do that by using the personal meeting activity sheet, and this is the final report here on the list. Now, the personal meeting activity sheet was designed so that you could bring this to your meeting and still be entered for the door prize and also report on all of your activity for the week. So by default, it's going to give you 1 week's worth of activity based on your next meeting date. I'm going to click Go, and what we'll see here is all of the referrals that we entered, and you'll notice that these are approximately the same size and shape as a regular referral slip. So you can print this out on your printer at home, take a pair of scissors, and you can cut this out and drop these into the bowl or the hat or whatever it is that you might pass to collect the referrals for the week and be included for the door prize. It also organizes the rest of the information for you. So when it's time to stand up at this part of the meeting and say, okay, I had a referral to Charles Westcott for Dunkin' Donuts, for Alex Braga, for John Smith. I also had thank you for closed business to Christine Donardi for $250, Dave Cordero for $2,500, Greg Rosso for $125. I had 29 CEUs for the week, and I had a one-to-one with Seth Jacobson. So you can adequately report quickly and efficiently on all of this information here. Now, if you don't want to print this out or you forget to print this out, that's still fine. Recommendation is that you just take a regular referral slip when you get to the meeting and fill it out. Fill out who the referrals to and from. But then, and check with your vice president or membership coordinator first, take a big X and draw a big X right through the middle of that referral, or at the bottom in the comments section, already entered online, something like that, so the vice president knows not to double enter that referral. Because as a vice president, what you'd see, if we have any vice presidents on the line, is that if I go to enter the PALMS report for the week, I will see all of these referrals already in this week's report. Let me switch back to the United States here and to my own personal chapter. And let's say that I'm the vice president and I'm going to enter our PALMS report for the week. What I'll see here at the bottom is there's already some information entered. There's 2 referrals given outside, there's a referral received, 2 one-to-ones, $125 in closed business, and 14 CEUs were entered. So we can see for me, Jeremy Walsh, I had given the 2 referrals given. I also had the credit for the one-to-one and the 14 CEUs that I reported. So this makes the vice president's job much easier. Now, vice presidents on the call, if you want to see which ones were already entered, click on the slips audit report and you will see all of the slips that were entered electronically. So this is your balance sheet for what was entered into the PALMS report. Excellent. So we're at the bottom of the hour, so I do want to stay true to our 30-minute webinar time. And thank you, everybody who was able to attend the call today. Again, this call was recorded. It will be made available on our YouTube channel. Please also join us on Facebook, facebook.com/BNI Connect Global. And give us a like. We share tips and tricks and webinar announcements and all sorts of things up here on our BNI Connect global Facebook site as well. Also, feel free to connect with me in BNI Connect. Again, my name is Jeremy Walsh. You can do a search on the magnifying glass for Jeremy Walsh, and I'd be happy to connect with you there. At this time, I would also like to open it up for any questions that anybody might have. And again, I'm always happy to stay on these webinars as long as people have valid questions. And Alex, as soon as we get done with any other question, Elvin, as soon as we're done with any other questions, I will be happy to do a one-to-one with you to figure out your particular issue. Excellent. It doesn't look like we have any other questions today. So again, as a member, I love this new functionality. It allows me to track my business much better. It helps me to close referrals a lot quicker. And again, our vice president loves it because we have a chapter of about 50 members, and it used to take her about 90 minutes to do the POMS report. And with about 60% of our members entering our referrals and thank you for closed business and one-to-ones online, that's now down to about 20 minutes a week. So again, thank you everybody for your time today. I do look forward to seeing you on a future webinar. Happy connecting everyone and have a great day.